This is pretty much what you have in your cabinet type thing. This isn't, you gotta run to the store to go get any special ingredients. This is what one would have in their cupboard, so. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you how to make a slightly spicy spaghetti. And I say slightly spicy because I actually added too many red pepper flakes. So it's just, it's a little more heat in it than I would want, but it's good, so. But, oh, I gotta say this, I am not a professional cook. I'm just a self-taught cook. I've been teaching myself to cook since 2004. Thought I would get on here and share some of that with you. All right, let's start with our ingredients. I don't really have precise measurements for this. This dish is something that, this is like one of the first dishes that I learned how to cook. When I was living on my own in North Carolina at 18, you know, surviving off of ice cream and Oreos and chips. And I got so sick of that stuff. All I could make was spaghetti, and I used to use the jars, the Ragu, the Pregos, but I eventually learned how to make my own sauce, and ever since I've been doing that, I mean, I have not touched the Prego or Ragu. So you're gonna need some olive oil or extra virgin olive oil. You're gonna need about a pound of ground meat. You can use ground beef, ground pork, ground veal. You can put all three of those together and do that. But I'm using ground beef and I'm using 80-20. So it's 80% lean, 20% fat. You're gonna need one bell pepper, one green bell pepper diced or chopped, just chopped. 2 onions chopped, roughly chopped. They don't have to be like precise. You need about a pound of spaghetti pasta. 2 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. You need one 14.5-ounce can of diced tomatoes. You need about a can of tomato paste. You know, the little cans. I cannot think of the size right now. I don't have my numbers with me. I think it's 6 ounces. I believe it's 6 ounces. But just a can of tomato paste will do, or a few squeezes from your tube. Salt, Italian seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, and the red pepper flakes are optional, but I'm using them today, so try it out, you might like it. And you're gonna need some garlic, minced garlic. I had a few cloves left from some garlic that I had, so I just chopped about 4 or 5 cloves up. All right, let's get down to the brass tacks. You wanna take your onions and just roughly chop them. Next, you wanna roughly chop your green bell pepper. Next, we're roughly chopping 5 cloves of garlic. You can use the jarred garlic if you want. I'm just using fresh garlic because I needed to get rid of it. All right, so now we're gonna add some olive oil into the pot and just let that heat up for a minute. Next, we're gonna add our green onions, Next, we're gonna add our green bell pepper, our onions, and our garlic. And we're gonna saute that for a few minutes until the onions become kind of like translucent. Add a little salt to draw out the moisture from your vegetable. Once your vegetables have come to the consistency that you want, transfer them to a Tupperware dish and place them to the side for right now. Add a little bit more olive oil to the pot. And then add your pound of ground meat. Breaking it up with your fork or rubber spatula or wooden spoon. So we're just gonna cook this until all the meat is browned, and we're gonna keep breaking it up as we're cooking it, so we get a bunch of crumbled little meat pieces. Okay, next you want to drain your meat. So after dumping the ground beef into a strainer, add your vegetables back to the pot. Add your ground meat back into the pot. Next, you want to add your diced tomatoes into the pot. Giving it all a good mix, a good stir. You want all the ingredients to kind of, marry, come together. Next, I'm adding the 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. Now these cans of crushed tomatoes I use have basil in it already, but if you were to just use a regular, just plain tomato base, you could use fresh basil, chop it up and throw it in there. I don't have any fresh basil. I'm using Italian seasoning. This is pretty much what you have in your cabinet type thing. This isn't, you gotta run to the store to go get any special ingredients. This is what one would have in their cupboard. So once you add the crushed tomatoes in, give it a good stir, mix it all around, then add your can of tomato paste. That is going to thicken up the sauce. Now you want to add some of the seasoning mixture to the sauce. Not all of it, but some. And I forgot to mention, you want to add some seasoning mixtures to the ground beef when you are browning it up. While the sauce and the meat are coming together and making one delicious pot of goodness, we're going to boil some water and get our pasta noodles cooked so we can bring this all together. So just put some water in the pot. Once it starts to boil, add some salt, then add your pasta and cook that for however many minutes the box is. Once that is done, drain your pasta, and then you can add a little bit of oil and some Parmesan cheese to the pasta just so it won't stick. But you could just leave it plain too if you want. It's up to you. Once the sauce has been cooking for a minute, this sauce is going to cook for a few hours. I would give it at least 4 hours to cook. But once the sauce has started to cook for a good hour, you want to add the rest of the seasoning mixture to it and just let it simmer, but continuously stirring it because the paste, you don't want it to stick to the bottom. So add the rest of the seasonings, continue to stir it for the next few hours, and get you some pasta in a bowl and plate up. Usually my spaghetti is not spicy, but just because I used 2 tablespoons of crushed red pepper flakes, this spaghetti it packs a punch. But it's good though. It's not like, oh, I can't do it, it's too hot. It's really good. You should give it a try if you like spicy things. But if you don't, you could just omit the red pepper flakes. Well guys, that is it for my slightly spicy spaghetti. Thank you for tuning in. Please check back for more videos to come. Just simple things. I'm not trying to show you no grand 3-course meals or anything like that. Maybe in the future, but for right now I'm just trying to show simple basic cooking skills for simple basic meals. So make sure you like, comment, and are subscribed to my channel, and I will talk to you later. Thanks again.